Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversations. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
5 years ago, the Power of We Symposium was created to provide a platform for kids from all sectors where they could have a safe and comfortable environment in which to share both their joys and concerns. The Power of We Symposium is proud to have served over 250 kids throughout Romania when we took our mission global back in May of 2023. Now, 2 teams of amazing volunteers from both the U.S. and Romania embarked on an 8-day Legacy of Hope tour, bringing encouragement and hope to not only the kids of Romania, but also the adults who support them, and also to over 100 kids here in the U.S. who contributed handwritten letters of hope to our Romania mission of 2023. Now, this year, we are proud to provide this opportunity yet again in October, and we are super excited to up our game. New venue, 750 kids this time, and we want to see you there. We're looking forward to meeting you in person at this year's event, which promises, as always, incredible speakers, amazing content, and of course, some of the greatest kids on the planet. So, mark your calendars for October 24th, and we'll see you here in Chicagoland for the Power of We Symposium 2024. This year's theme is Always Together, Never Alone. Tickets are available now on Eventbrite or at powerofwesymposium.com.
Don't see what's yours for the taking tonight.
Oh, Lord, I'm back. Thank you, Jesus. I'm back. Oh, hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh, I'll be honest though, y'all pray for me. I gotta bolster up myself, my system. Every time I go somewhere, I come back sick. All these germ buckets around the world. Clean it up. I went to New York over the weekend, and hi, Andrew Namani. Namani, say what? Andrew Namani, man, he knows how to host when he invites you for an interview on his show. It was absolutely fantastic. The only thing about it, they're like these upwardly mobile, highly successful 20-somethings. These kids, 24, 25, 26, 27, all in their 20s, and just killing it. I'm not kidding you. I went to some mixers with Andrew and his friends were there, and they're like, I'm doing another fund, and hey, congratulations on your seven-figure exit. all these kind of, and I'm sitting around there going, okay, just let me slink out of here. But it was really great. It was amazing. New York, New York is New York. I mean, I prefer Chicago for obvious reasons. Anyway, I'm back. I'm going to be muting during the thing because I'll be sneezing, coughing, all that stuff. I got all this stuff here. And if suddenly in the middle of this broadcast, my eyes turn into saucers, it's because I was tired from getting up, peeing and blowing my nose all night. When you're sick, you know how it is. You get drink, tons of these, right? So I made a powerful pot of coffee because I've been drinking tea. I want some caffeine to wake me up. And I poured probably this much coffee in a French press. And I'm looking at this stuff and it is, look, like motor oil. So if it hits me and all of a sudden I'm like this, Ron Martinez, what are you talking about, Robert? Yeah, that's why. Okay. Ron Martinez. I've given it up. It's out. There's no spoiler anymore because I just told you. Ron Martinez is here. He was originally scheduled to appear Monday, but you know who couldn't get out of bed after he got back from New York. So he's here today. And yesterday, you guys, my guest for yesterday was sick, and the guest for today, sick again. Wash your hands, get your fruits and vegetables, hydrate, do what you got to do, right? And before we get out of here today, remind me to tell you the little magic thing. My little Chinese doctor told me to, she's with the, what do you call it? Organic, right? And I'll just tell you real quick. Yesterday, she told me, I called her. She said, she's in Canada, boil an onion, 1 onion, 2 cups of water, 3 cloves of garlic, a pinch of salt, boil it, strain it, and drink it. And you'll be right as rain. She was right because I did it, and don't eat. And I did it, and I was up until like 3 something this morning. Then I fell asleep and I woke up and all those things, the running nose, all of it was gone. I mean, absolutely gone. I was like, am I in a dream? So organic, I'm telling you, not that over the counter shit. So there's the Bella Purpose. It's here every day. I ring it on purpose to remind us that when some truth is out on the table, to lean in and listen in. And also at this point of the show, welcome my sidekick. She's missed y'all, Miss Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo. I love me some Lucy. Ooh, that's strong. You guys, Ron Martinez, I met him back at Martha Razzo's event, Accelerator Business Summit. And he's Rico Suave for real. I'm just saying, y'all will see. Nicest guy you ever wanted to meet and brilliant. He's going to talk to us today about the importance of a lot of things. Matter of fact, I ain't even going to go there. I'm going to get him in here. Put some hearts on the screen. It's our way of virtually applauding as we bring in our guest today. Here he comes, you guys, Ron Martinez. Hey.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing great. I was in Chicago, and then now I'm in Miami. And Miami brings smiles with the sun, right?
Yeah. I'm probably the wrong person to ask about Miami. I'm not kidding. Miami, just like New York, last time put me down on my butt when I came home. But yes, it is beautiful. Sunshine, beautiful people, lots of things to do. I love all that Cuban food and stuff that you can find. I had never had it until I went there. I've only been to Miami twice. Yeah. Have you been to Miami many times?
Actually twice. But the last time I came, other than today, was back in 2018 or 19, and I spent 2 weeks. Into the routine that I was like, I'm in love with. Now I have the carrot to chase after, and it was basically waking up at a decent time, going out for a run by the boardwalk, area, the little concrete area between the beach and the hotels, and just seeing everyone, just like the life that is there, with the sun. So I just fell into that beautiful routine. I was just like, yep, this is the goal,
Really?
And I've done a couple of those things in Chicago as well with, the little boardwalk as well that we have there. Like, you can do it anywhere, but it's really a mindset part. But Miami just brings that out of me. So when I land, it's like, oh yeah, it's the vibes that I want,
It is a beautiful place, but I'll tell you what, if you go there for 2 weeks, you better put your rent away or your mortgage payment before you go, because it is expensive.
It is, and only higher now.
Huh?
And it only got more expensive now.
Oh, I know. New York for me. Don't fly into LaGuardia at 4:00 in the afternoon.
Oh.
It was rush hour. It cost me $135. And then when it was time to come home, which was Sunday morning, $26. Took like 12 minutes to get there Sunday. Took me an hour and a half during rush hour on Friday, and it was quadruple, So anyway, let's get down to it. Here's what I like to do, Ron Martinez. Why is it I have to say your full name all the time? It's just you got one of those names. Christine Dean has one of those. Jimmy Clare has one of those. Joe Barnes and Ron Martinez. So I'm going to dip out, and I like you to just, I like the guests to just, introduce themselves and kind of just create your own vibe with everybody, and then I'll come in and we'll get started. Sound good?
That sounds good.
Okay. All you.
Thank you. So my name is Ron Martinez. I'm actually a co-founder and COO of a company called Chatavise. Basically, what we do is we're a business texting platform. So we look at different businesses across different sectors. So from home service to realtors to insurance agents to event planners to even personal trainers. I mean, there's tons of businesses that are using texting as a go-to solution for reaching customers. And when you're ready to kind of like start scaling, adding an assistant, adding other employees that can help you manage the communications with your customers, texting is the way to go, right? So having a business texting platform gives you a lot more flexibilities and being able to expand your business. But for me, I love entrepreneurship. My first business was actually when I was 15 years old. I went to a seminar. I listened to Robert Kiyosaki, listened to Marshall Silver, David Lindahl, listened to several people that really just captivated my imagination at that age. And my first business was a landscaping company. And when I was going, I was highly motivated, energized and everything. And about a week into it, I was like, man, I'm not getting no sales. And the only sales that I am getting are what I call sympathy sales. I'm going door to door. I'm like, hey, I want to charge $40 to mow your lawn. They're like, you know what? Take it for $20. And I'm like, well, I got to take it, And I was like, this is not a way to actually like make money. And my dad was a realtor at the time. And it was at the height of the foreclosure period, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm seeing all these foreclosure signs. I told my dad, I was like, who is getting these, properties? Like, how does that work? And he told me, he was like, well, in my office, there's about 3 or 4 agents that are getting the REO or foreclosure properties the first Tuesday of every month called Super Tuesday. And I was like, well, can you give me that? Because I see your name everywhere. And he's like, we have the same name. I'm not giving you no handouts. So I was like, okay, no problem. So I went into the office and convinced the other 3 to give me their properties. And there I am at 15 with 20 to 40 properties, charging $40 to $80 a lot without having to worry about trimming bushes, edging the stuff. They just want to avoid a ticket, from the homeowners association.
Oh, yeah.
And that was my first like little taste of what it's like to really work for yourself. And after that, went through all of life, got a job opportunity in Chicago. So I have experience both in entrepreneurship and in the corporate world. And I think combining those 2 experiences is really what allowed us and me to be an asset to a business that needs to grow, right? And from there, it's kind of been just a great story. So,
oh, awesome. Yeah, you reminded me of when I had my first business, which was washing the windows of the local Dairy Queen every Sunday morning. And I really did it thinking they were going to give me free ice cream. Didn't happen. But it taught me a lot because I had a paper route, right? And that lasted 3 days because I started, I think, on a Wednesday. And and it was in the winter time. But then Sunday came. And all those inserts and things that they bring for the regular papers like this, the Sunday papers like this, right? And I had to put them on my sled, and I delivered probably 6 out of 80 papers and took the rest of those things and threw them in the Kroger dumpster behind the Kroger's. And then came back home and went to bed because everybody was still sleeping. And around, 11 o'clock, our phone started ringing. can you find out ask your son if he delivered our paper? And I was like, define delivered to my mom. Tell them to drive to the Kroger's and dig in the dumpsters. They'll find it. But anyway, that's when I learned, though, things that I didn't like or that that didn't make work. Lasted maybe 3 hours and quit because they told me to go mop in front of a bunch of people, and I was embarrassed. So my point in all this is we learn a lot from when we start those young childhood endeavors about our entrepreneurial mindset and also what kind of work ethics are natural to us, and then others we have to strengthen and develop. So we're going to talk about some of that today too. But first, I wanted to get in because I'm going to be honest with you, Ron Martinez. See, I can't help but say your whole name. When I was planning for you, I was like, oh, this is like when I got to go to the dentist. This is like when we have a meeting with Christopher Gandy, financial things, taxes and shit on Friday. And I'm like, ugh. But then I say, Ron Martinez, you fall into that category. And I want to talk about that. These types of things, components for your business, a lot of us don't think it applies to us. You know, I'm pretty much a one-man show. I have a few VAs, but that's it. I don't have an a live person or a team, you know, and you know how people talk. Well, let me run it past my team. I don't have it. So anyway, and I want to say this. Here's how I consider myself upping my game with communication and this and the other. Business cards from Canva. I just got those, right? And I want your opinion. Are these antiquated? But I have these because there are certain people, I want to give them something in their hand. But then this year, I got my husband and I these. Mm-hmm. So you can just touch somebody's phone and it uploads all your stuff. So that's me. That's the same mindset. I'm trying to communicate better, right, and make it easier for people to communicate better with me back and forth. So it's in my mindset, but I know I could do better. So I want to show a clip because I watched it this morning. I was like, well, maybe Ron Martinez is onto something. So let's look at this. And then we'll come back if I can do it. Okay, there it is. Wait a minute. Where is it? Oh, YouTube. There it is. How to communicate with your customers. So let me pull it in. This is a new platform we're on, so it takes me a minute. I'm going to pop that up there. And then now I have to go back over here. Here we go.
Hi, Shep Hyken, your customer service and experience expert. And today I'm going to discuss.
Come on, Shep.
How to communicate with your customers. In our customer service workshops, we do an exercise where we ask who our favorite companies are to do business with and why. And we almost always get Amazon as one of the answers. And one of the success traits is Amazon's communication. When a customer places an order, they're immediately notified by email. Another email is sent once the order ships with tracking information, and then another email is sent to inform the customer that the package has arrived. Frequent communication is one of the reasons customers have so much confidence in Amazon. Well, one of our clients sells to businesses. They're a B2B organization. And we were doing this exercise, and when one of the employees shared that Amazon was his favorite company and mentioned the emails, one of the executives in the back raised his hand and said that doesn't apply, as they were in the manufacturing business. They weren't a retailer. Now, I believe that is not true at all. On the contrary, communication is not limited to just B2C, business to consumer type companies and brands. So Kevin Page, one of our subscribers who owns a tobacco store and placed an order with International Plastics, Inc., said this is exactly the point. He was so impressed with their communication that he shared it with us. The short letter that he was sent contained the following. Thank you for your order. Attached is your confirmation. At International Plastics, Inc., we greatly appreciate your business. For questions, please contact me at extension 114 or call our customer service team at, and they gave out the number. Lynn Scupian, a senior sales rep, actually signed it, providing her direct phone number and email. But there's more. On Monday morning, Lynn called and left a voicemail to inform the item had shipped and when to expect delivery. In Kevin's words, what a heads up and fantastic customer service experience. They told me who I could reach out to if my expectations were not met and adjusted my expectations by sharing what my delivery should be. He said, I'm giddy. Well, there are several important lessons and reminders in this email. Number one, you don't have to be Amazon to have amazing communication. Number two, there was plenty of communication. First, to confirm the order. Second, to inform of the shipping. And third, to establish a delivery expectation. And number three, there was ownership. This wasn't a faceless corporate email. The email included a person and their phone number, just in case there was a problem or there was a question. Kevin wrote to me, I'm giddy. That's a great word, giddy, and I can understand why. He feels a stronger
Clearly, you love
connection
it.
to his supplier for the communication reasons I just shared, and a connection to someone on the inside. Kevin now has a go-to person if there are any issues. So find ways to communicate, even over-communicate with your customers. It creates confidence and credibility and gives the customer a sense of control. Well, I hope you enjoyed this short lesson. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Okay.
I couldn't agree more.
So,
Yes. Yeah. I believe that, the difference between a good company and a great company is how much communication they have and options they give their customers, right? So like one of the things that we do, we take a consultative approach, no matter what business it is, right? We look at the different client touch points and we go, hey, should that be a phone call? Should that be an email? Or should that be a text? And if it's a text, should it be automated, right? So even the simple things, let's say I meet with customers via Zoom, right? Or prospects via Zoom. If they book, they book it on my Calendly or whatever booking service you may use, they offer like text reminders, right? The problem with the text reminders from those companies is that it's usually one way. It's usually at 833-844-877, toll free kind of number, right? Where it's not your number. You're not in there responding back and forth to them. Mm-hmm. And if that's so from the beginning, it's going to a nameless phone number, right? A name, like just like he said, a faceless email, faceless phone number, right? That phone number doesn't belong to you. But we would send out with your business number the reminders leading up to the event. We would even include the meeting of the Zoom or the Google Meet or the Microsoft Teams meeting address, right? Or URL. And then at that time, if the client's running late, it's easy for them to just pull out their phone and text you a quick little message for everyone to adjust. It's that communication. For us in our business, 5 minutes before the meeting ends, we send out a review invite, right? Asking you to leave us a review, even if it's just an internal review for me to see how how that call went with a team member of ours, If the review was great, we would send out a referral link, right? So that now that customer has their very own referral link that if they pass it to other customers, which, most customers, their best friends are, closest 10 people, they don't know their email addresses, but they know their phone numbers. So by you giving that in via SMS, their referral link, they're able to pass that over to the people that they may know that needs your service. Right. So it's just really taking down the barriers and going like, hey, what is the best use of our time and they making it easier for our customers to communicate with us. And that's usually SMS. It's not usually email, you see. But I like I like what he was talking about because at the end of the day, it is I prefer to over communicate. I prefer everyone to
I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that because I think that's a two-edged sword, in my opinion. I think over communication is good if you have a solid relationship. But when you're in the courting stage or, I haven't agreed to do shit with you, and you come on now, you know what I'm saying? Let's talk about that. There are some people we know you keep getting some, and when they try to act like they know you before they know you.
Right.
Hey, buddy, Lauren, did you see this? That kind of stuff. Let's talk about protocol if you can. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you were dating a person, you're not going to just skip all of the courting stages and get right to it. Well, unless you're on Tinder. But you know what
there's a term.
You know what I'm saying, though? So
Yeah.
let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Can you over communicate too soon in a relationship?
Absolutely. So one, I would say this, like I tell my staff, we're a team of 8 people. I'm like, if you make too many assumptions, you stretch a little too far, you risk ending with your foot in your mouth. You know, you end up doing that because you made too many assumptions based off whatever, information you got, whether it's personal experience, whether it's like, oh, this person kind of reminds me of this, oh, this situation is similar to that, but you stretch just a little bit too much, you risk putting your foot in your mouth, right? So I think when you over communicate or you assume things and you're not doing it with like the curious mind, you're just putting everyone in a bucket, you really risk, creating that bad experience where you're like, you don't know me. You're not. So it depends where in the cycle you are, But in Amazon's case, when you buy the item from them, you want to know where your package is.
Oh yeah, I love what they do.
Exactly. Like you can click a button and see where the package is at. Well, we have some of our clients that whenever they're, going to a client's home, the time window that would normally happen like 10 to 2, they're going to arrive.
Oh yeah. We're on the way.
Right. We could drop that off because we send a link with a tracking link that a customer can click on and see where the vehicle is at on the way to their on the way to their home. And then we also provide like the picture of the employee that you're letting in, so the technician that you might let in or whoever.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep.
And let me just say, that's really important because somebody came to this house, a vendor, a couple weeks ago. I was gone. I think I was in Colorado. And Brian, my husband, said, yeah, they sent a guy. He didn't come within the time frame. He came early or something, but his vehicle didn't have any identifying stuff from the company on it. And Brian was like, well, how do I know? And he talked, he goes, I went ahead and opened the door, but I think that was a bad move on their part. So you're right. I love that.
It's a safety thing too, though, right? Like we've had some clients that, when they came to us and they're like, we're looking for a service like yours, because sometimes we deal with people being like impersonating them, right? They say they're coming from this company, but then they're showing up with a no brand vehicle,
Yeah.
How that happens is beyond me. But with that communication, that customer now knows who they're expecting to let into their home, right?
Right.
And then I believe every interaction should end with a review, right? It should give a customer a chance to leave that feedback, right? Whether you're displaying it publicly or whether you're going to keep it internally, that might depend from interaction to interaction. But I think it's a good culture to have because you raise the baseline of the client experience for your customers when there's some kind of like accountability to that reputation,
Yes, raising the baseline of your customer experience. That's a big piece right there. So let me ask you real quick, kind of doubling back. So are things like this antiquated?
So this is what I'll say. I'm an action-oriented kind of person. If I'm going to go network, I don't judge it based off how many business cards I take home with me. I think we all have like
nothing happens with those.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, what you're doing with a lot of those cards is that you're just putting your information into their phone, right?
Yeah.
How many contacts do any networker, how many contacts can we expect to have a network can have in their phone? I mean, we're talking, 2,000, 3,000 phone numbers, right?
Oh yeah.
And none of those are like, so now you're in the mix in that Rolodex. Well, whenever I go network and I have, hey, let's exchange phone numbers. Okay, they might give me their business card. I'm like, yeah, let's exchange phone numbers. Here's my number. They write it down. And I'm like, oh, yeah, make sure you text me your name so I can save it. Well, I'll have them text me a keyword like chat. And what happens is an automatic text sequence will go out to them. And with it ending with my calendar. So I judge success based when I go networking based on how many Zoom calls, how many, meet up for lunches I have after a networking event, not the fact that I might have met someone.
Right.
I care a lot more about, not even, I would say I care about having a 30-minute to an hour conversation with the people that I met at an event that I maybe only talked to for 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes with loud music, sometimes with people interrupting, right? How do I know people?
Nice. And it is very important because I hadn't even thought about that. You don't really give the start of the relationship a fair chance if you leave it in the noisy, chaotic atmosphere where you meet the person. But let me ask you this. In the video, he talked about, B2B, B2C, blah, blah, blah. But it sounded like most of those were, well, none of them spoke to the service industry. Yeah. I'm in the service industry. So, I'm not going to, how would that apply to me? Something like this. Where would I need this email sequence or messengers, the text message sequence and stuff? Where would I be how would that benefit someone like me?
So one, I would say, we've actually met at several events, right? Where we're interacting with people all the time. So like for me and for you, I think it's important that we build good relationships within the community. So if we met, XYZ person, well, how many did we have that Zoom? How long did it take for us to actually get connected via Zoom or via Google Meets, even to like have a conversation, to actually get to know, hey, how did you get from where you were to where you are now? Right? Is there a piece of advice that maybe you're just sitting on the tip of your tongue that would have been perfect for that person to hear, but we didn't get the chance to actually connect and hear? Right. So like, I think that's one of the things where like, hey, you know what, how can I put my calendar in more people's hands for them to book it more than just my number? Because let's face it, nowadays people aren't taking action. They're not taking business cards and saying, hey, and let me actually call someone. Right? Hey, let me shoot them a text. Some people need that extra nudge, So whenever I send them that text sequence that says, hey, it was great to meet you. Here's my calendar. Let's book a time. And they click on the link. I can see when they click on the link. You see? And if they clicked on the link and never did anything, I can now text them again saying, hey, it was great to meet you. I know it's been about a week. Let's get connected,
Right.
So imagine if I'm doing that and I go to, probably like 3 or 4 networking events, easy every 2 weeks. And I'm having way more Zoom calls than the average person. I'm getting way more connected to way more people, you see, and way more doors open up faster. So if you want to exponentially grow your business, you have to connect with more people. And that doesn't mean going to more networking events, shaking hands. It actually means what happens afterwards. So if you want more coaching clients, if you want more people to show up to your open house, if you're a realtor, if you want more one-on-one conversations, if you are selling life insurance or financial products, it's not based off how many events you went to. It's actually based off how many people are you meeting afterwards.
Correct.
Another one could be, let's say you're doing a webinar. Right? You're in a one-to-many scenario where people are registering, they're showing up at a specific time to watch you. And maybe they even show up afterwards. Well, if you go, hey, you know what? Text this word to my number, right? Literally my local area code number. And the people that do it, they are your true believers. They're the ones that are reaching out to want to hear you. They want that one-on-one time that they're looking for the wisdom that you have. Right? So I just see it's taking it a step further. It's not just putting information into their phone and praying that they will reach out to you. It's almost like you're going down there and saying, hey, let's actually meet. I care about you. I care about this. I care about this action, which is one-on-one, kneecap to kneecap, or one of the old school people told me belly to belly conversations. Right? I judge success based off that.
Okay. I'm a little sensitive about that word right now for clear reasons.
Yeah.
So, can we just get past that belly talk?
Why do you think my camera has to be so far away?
I'm serious. Oh my Lord. You wait till summer though. I'm gonna be ready. Let me ask you, I want to pivot to the other side of you. But first, last question, nitty gritty, break it down. Here's the thing that in my mind, and a lot of us, seriously, is like, well, how expensive is this? You know what I'm saying? How does a person know when it's right, to bite the bullet, pull the trigger on something like this? And is it set up like a monthly subscription thing? Is it one of those things you got to pay for the whole year at one time? And what do you do if you started and it's just, okay, this is, you know what I'm saying? So talk about that real quick. And then we're going to take a 60-second break and come back and get into the softer side of Ron Martinez, which is the mindset piece and all that goes with that. But what do you say about what I just brought up?
Yeah, so I'll say, like, at the end of the day, we're a startup company. We're super flexible. Like, we care about being an asset to the person that we're helping, right? And one of the things that I'm excited about, that is somewhat new and that happened at the Accelerator Business Summit and Martha's event back when we met, and I saw you emceeing and absolutely crushing it on stage, right?
Aw,
Met him to introduce me.
yeah,
Uh,
thank you, Ron.
and I saw that it hit me because I was there on stage and I watched 1 out of 30 something speakers use texting. Well, that person that used texting, I bet you set more meetings, set more coaching meetings, had more things happen after the event with more people. And I
Was
was
it that the Austin Smith lady? Who was it?
Bill Walsh was the
Oh,
one that used texting.
of
Yeah.
course. Yeah, yeah.
Right, right.
Okay.
And it hit me. I was like, wait, because at the time we were only helping home service businesses, right? And they
Mhm.
typically made $3 million and up in revenue, right? Stanley Steamer is our largest client. We have 97% of their locations using us nationwide,
Nice.
right? And it's because it's in our DNA to, when we have a client that says, hey, you know what, we trust you to be our to help us communicate with our clients. We don't take that lightly. So we really try to fit their business like a glove, right? So I was there on stage. I watched the speaker do that, and I texted my team, or I slacked my team, and I told them, I was like, we can do this. We do way more complicated stuff with texting. This part is easy, and we can take it several steps further, right? So in a matter of 2 weeks, we built that product. We added the legs that we needed to it. And basically what we did now is every person that is meeting me, right? I want to get to know their business. So that's where we expanded to life insurance clients. That's where we expanded to realtors. That's where we expanded to coaching clients, event planning. And we started going more on the consumer side where they're a little bit smaller, right? So we're actually looking, we have maybe 20 case studies right now that are outside would have been our typical industry. And now we're like, hey, you know what? There's some room here for us to actually lower our prices and work with clients that maybe don't need all the sophistication, but they can do things right. In a Zoom call, how often do you ask for reviews? Reviews are great because they help your local SEO, right? They help people when they Google you, and it shows up there with 15 reviews, and all these reviews are over the last 2 months. Now they feel like they know what to expect.
Yeah, it's the current temperature of the water.
Exactly. And if someone's not willing to leave you a review, are they really willing to refer you someone?
Right.
Right. So it's kind of like that half step there. And I was like, you know what? There's a lot of solo entrepreneurs, a lot of business owners who are like, okay, I'm almost at the step where I can hire someone to help me with maybe managing my calendar, managing my email box. But if their business was built off texting, how can that admin possibly help them with the texting part? Right. So there's a big opportunity for that. I would say right now the cost has been $3,000 a year billed annually. So $250 a month billed annually. But month to month option is $300 a month. That works for a lot of businesses. Also, especially if you're in the mindset that, okay, this is cheaper than me actually hiring a very expensive person that needs to be in my office. I can now hire the person from overseas, but give them user access with certain privileges to be able to help me with the onflow of people, right? So there's ways to make that work, but we are working on actually bringing a package down to like $99 a month, billed annually, or $120, billed monthly. So there's going to be some room there for us to work with. We have enough data points now where we're going to the drawing board and seeing what kind of product can we build, so that it's not the man hours of actually trying to, give someone like everything when they don't really need it. So there's some room for that for like the solo entrepreneurs. So if your audience has solo entrepreneurs that are like, I'm at the point where I do want to use this, I can see many strategies here that we can use. That's the kind of person I want to talk to, because we can build around them and make a product that they're happy about. So.
Okay. Listen, we're going to take just a 60-second break. And when we come back, I want to get into your mind.
Sounds good.
Scary. Listen, you guys, I don't know if you're into numerology or angel numbers, or numbers mean anything to you. A lot of us, they do. But what about this number? 10, 24, 24. That's October 24th. The Power of We Symposium is headed back to Chicago. We're upping our game, 750 kids this year instead of the usual 250 that we've had for all 5 years of the program. And we want you to be a part of it. We need you to be a part of it. Listen, we're going to take a look at the promo for that, and then we'll be right back. We have a lot more with Ron Martinez. Don't you dare go away.
5 years ago, the Power of We Symposium was created to provide a platform for kids from all sectors where they could have a safe and comfortable environment in which to share both their joys and concerns. The Power of We Symposium is proud to have served over 250 kids throughout Romania when we took our mission global back in May of 2023. Now, 2 teams of amazing volunteers from both the U.S. and Romania embarked on an 8-day Legacy of Hope tour, bringing encouragement and hope to not only the kids of Romania, but also the adults who support them, and also to over 100 kids here in the U.S. who contributed handwritten letters of hope to our Romania mission of 2023. Now, this year, we are proud to provide this opportunity yet again in October, and we are super excited to up our game. New venue, 750 kids this time, and we want to see you there. We're looking forward to meeting you in person at this year's event, which promises, as always, incredible speakers, amazing content, and of course, some of the greatest kids on the planet. So, mark your calendars for October 24th, and we'll see you here in Chicagoland for the Power of We Symposium 2024. This year's theme is Always Together, Never Alone. Tickets are available now on Eventbrite or at powerofwesymposium.com.
Welcome back to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. There it is, the Power of We Symposium. Trust me, you have not lived until you've experienced the one-day event with these awesome youth leaders. Get over to powerofwesymposium.com or hit me up, hit your boy up, and we can talk about it. I'd love to see you there. Tickets are available now, like they said, on Eventbrite or at powerofwesymposium.com. Hey, Ron, welcome back. So I wanted to ask you about well, let's put it here. Let's go here. A lot of people let me just put it out there. What is it that you serve from your kitchen to people? You're at an event right now in Miami. A lot of people think you're just about the business, but there's more. So, and I didn't even know. You're kind of not sheepish, but you know what I mean? You lead with, you know, what you do most of the time, but tell us about what you do, what kind of work you do with this mindset piece.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people get into entrepreneurship. I love talking to, to be honest, when I go networking, I don't go looking for clients. That's not how I get most of my clients, and now it's kind of like a new thing. Right. Mm-hmm. But one thing that I really like about networking is because I meet with people afterwards, I get to learn, they get to learn, we're exchanging ideas, we're sharpening our swords, we're sharpening our knowledge, we're getting wiser because I'm intaking so many stories. I don't have to go through an experience to learn from it, right? Mm-hmm. So whenever you're really good at asking questions and really care about the person, you will always win, right? So if you care about your customers more, you will always win, even if they choose not to go with you. I'd much rather people have, all the information that they need to make a great decision. And I believe that if I actually communicate it thoroughly enough, I communicate it in a way that really lands with them.
Yeah.
They'll probably make the same decision that I made, which was why I started the company in the first place.
Yeah.
Right? So it ends up being kind of like a circle anyways. And that's something that I learned from networking, right? Because that's not the way that we started out growing the business, It's not how we got our first 300 customers, So
Oh, sorry.
So one thing I talk about a lot is like something called like the freedom ladder, right? Is that we go into entrepreneurship with this idea that, oh, we're going to have freedom. I don't have to work for the big man. I don't have to be a number at a big corporate company. But then what you realize, what you sign up for is actually a job that has no boundaries on your time, has no boundaries on your life. You're over consumer. You actually sign up for a full-time job that is a full contact sport on everything, right? And it's because a lot of times we go there with the enthusiasm, not with the plan. And that's something that I really find a lot of value in when I meet with people and talk about, hey, how are you doing X, Y, Z, right?
Sorry, I had to cough. I want to ask this. Shoot, I had a good one. In your moment. Anyway, so what about, oh, I know what I was thinking. What about, let's talk about this. This is important. I know this for a fact, and I wish more people did it. If you just tried it, you'd find out it is a big deal. It catches. I don't believe in networking. I believe in working the net.
I like that.
In my world, I want to be a fisher of men, right? So what you're yeah, oh, certainly. So, because it's like this, what you were describing, all the things that come afterwards, that's what, when I work the net, that's me bringing the fish into the boat.
Yeah.
Not because, just because you caught a fish doesn't mean you're going to keep him. Because if you don't get him in the right way and you don't play it right, it's going to get off the hook. But if it does swim away, I always say this, when I tell people this, literally, listen, I don't care where you get this, what you're here checking me out on, but make sure you get it. And when you do, make sure they're this, and this, using the things that I know you're not going to find anywhere else as markers in them. And if you should not find it, the door here is always open, because you got to be patient and let people choose when it feels right for them. Because, and talk about that, Ron, about, it's better. I have long lasting clients because I did not force them. And even when I have a discovery call, all of you who work with me know it's true. I don't let people decide right on the discovery call. I send them away. If you feel that live with this, let it go sit with your soul. And so don't reach out to me with an answer less than 24 hours, more than 72 hours, because 24 hours, now you've walked all the way around it and you slept on it.
Yeah.
72 hours. If you don't know by now, you don't know when to say yes and how to say no. One of those things. So talk about how many I guess I said all that to say this. I have had if you treat people right, and it's not about, because you know how some people change. As soon as they figure out you're not going to do it, okay, bye. All of a sudden they change, like, damn. A minute ago you were like, oh, I just love you, right? Now you know you're not going to money. It's like, bye, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm just keeping it real. We all have experienced it, and you don't want to be that kind of person. So talk about the patience piece, because that has a lot to do with this mindset.
Yeah. I'm a very patient person, but I wasn't always so, right? Ooh. And for me, I will say when it comes to like helping people, I think from the Accelerator Business Summit, which was August 31st, September 1st, I have clients to this, like people coming now. They're like, I'm ready now.
Right.
I maybe met with them 3 or 4 times throughout the time. And remember, they're in my text phone. It's just hey, it's been a little while. Let's shoot the shit. Let's
so
talk.
Are you sending things to them in between, letting them know I still see you?
Of course. Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't forgot about you. Right. So like and some of that stuff is automated.
That matters.
Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's automated, but it also looks personalized because it has, all their names in there, stuff like that. And sometimes when I see an automated about message to go, I'm like, oh wait, let me cancel that. Let me adjust this. Cause I remember I saw them here. Let me talk to them about this. Right.
So that it matches the experience you have with them.
Right. So we're trying to make the person superhuman. We're trying to make them where they're not going to forget about the person. So let's say we met right now. Today, we talked today. You're like, you know what, Ron? No, you gave me a lot of good things for me to take away. I feel like I won. The minute you tell me that, I feel like I won. I'm not mad that you said, oh, I'm not ready yet. I'm actually happy that you left with something more than what you came with. right? And then if we say, you know what, can you touch bases with me maybe in May? Okay, I'm gonna literally on my system schedule the text message. I can schedule it for May 1st or May whatever, and that message will go out even if I have now moved on to someone else, right? To me, the person that is in front of me is the most important person.
You like those circles?
I do.
I know, it's kind of fun.
Connected.
When you have like 4 people, it's really fun. You feel like the Brady's.
Oh yeah. You feel like you're in a bubble almost.
Yeah, you can look up at them and say it's fun. So anyway, so Ron, what about this? Sincerity, authenticity. For instance, how important is it to use the person's name? You know, sometimes I get stuff and it has, you know, you can tell it's not, they don't know it's me, you know, they're just trying to make it sound like I matter to them. People can tell.
Yeah.
People can tell.
I tell people all the time, if you have great memory and you can remember everything, that's great. But it also probably means you haven't met enough people. And if you're trying to hit your big goals, a couple of different things just came to mind. If you're trying to hit
like this, you're taller than me. I'm taking this back. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
If you have if you have big goals, you need to have big enough goals that the people on your team's goals can fit in it, right?
Ooh, you got to repeat that.
Your goals have to be big enough that your superstar's goals can fit into your goals. So if you're having a problem trying to grow your business, you need to have think bigger, because that's
understand the size of your container.
Exactly, right? And then that will help you attract people. So even if I'm talking to someone and they're not a great fit for my product for whatever reason, right?
Yeah.
I don't really care too much about that. I care about getting to know the person, because now I can possibly have a position for them in the future, right? Maybe they become a partner. Maybe now that I know their situation and I happen to meet someone else, I can do a connection. I can do an introduction.
Yeah.
Right? I want to be known as someone that is, you just need to know so that I can connect you everywhere. Like I'm just a problem solver, right? So I come with that problem solving mentality. But in order to really problem solve people's core, like what's behind the surface area, you have to understand where they're coming from. You have to understand the context of the issue that they're trying to solve, right? So that's how I help with the patience part, though, is that I go there to listen. I go there to learn. I go there to ask questions, and things start revealing themselves that allow me to be part of their solution, or B, me walk away with some of the information, like the knowledge, to apply it in my business or apply it in my personal situations or whatnot,
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think just going there with the student mentality, right? Going there with the mentality that this is a chance for you to actually like better yourself and better the people around you, right? So I wouldn't want to get to the top and not know anyone. That would be very lonely, right? I want all boats to rise. I want the people that are interacting with me to feel like, hey, you know what? When I make it, I want to pull him up. When he makes it, he's going to pull me up, and building that community around. So that helps a lot with the patience part.
Sure does. Great stuff there. Time to wrap up, but before we get out of here, I want to tap on this one real quick. Should people reach out to you, and you guys, you can see LinkedIn where you can connect with Ron right there on the screen, and scrolling along the bottom is the website. So let's say someone reaches out to you and decides to work with you. This is always a big deal to me. I'm very sensitive about it. I like companies where I can work with someone, where I don't get just some bot or chat box or somebody different every time. Somebody, when I started working with Eventbrite years ago, when Power of We started, I set up a deal with them where I had a person, Holly, still all these years later, when I get ready to start doing my stuff with Eventbrite, I go to Holly, it's time again. This year's, you see what I'm saying? And I love that a big company like that, I get the same associate to work with me. How is that in your company? Do they get someone like a team leader or a project manager to work with, so that as you have questions and feedback and whatnot, you're talking to the same person and not consistently starting to tell the story over and over, because it's a new person every time?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you get assigned someone that will work with you. If it's a business that, we're not like, we like to lead with our results, right? We like to be like, hey, we've been here, we've done this before, we have really good context. When someone comes in, they're like, I know I need a texting solution, but we don't have a past client that has really used it. That's when you'll get me. I'm involved in your business. I put it this way, I know about clients' events that are coming up on the calendar, and I'm there as if I'm the participant, observing, watching how, we could solve this. Oh, they could do that. Like right now, they can go to the website. They can click on the web chat widget. My team will see it. If they reference my name, I know about it. Boom. I'm the one texting them, right? So if they go on the web chat widget on the website and they send that message, I will be notified almost instantly, right?
Wow.
Especially if they mention my name. The second thing is I like to know where people are coming from, right? I want to know if they're coming from Dr. Lauren's family, right? And treat them like so, right?
Yeah.
So actually, if people wanted to reach me and they're like, hey, I just want to have a conversation, even if the price is out of budget, I want you to take a look at my business and how could I better use texting? Yeah. Right now, I'm using iMessage. I'm using Android's messaging service, and it's not going to let me expand. What does it look like to use you? What are some of the positives and the pros and the cons, right? And have a real honest dialogue around that. Then we should definitely do that. They can actually text the word podcast to my number, which is 470-375-9088. And when they text that word, I'll know it comes from here. You see, I'll know because right now when they see this live and they're texting that word, and I'm seeing all the people that are opting in to be able to receive my calendar, to be able to book the time that works for them, I already know there's a high probability this is coming from here. And if I wanted to, because I didn't know if I was going to do this or not necessarily, I didn't know where the direction was going to go, I could have made a keyword that said Lauren or Dr. L or whatever I wanted to say, right? I could have had a heart emoji as the keyword that people just text a heart emoji and they receive my calendar. And I know everyone that did that came from this specific event.
Wow.
So it's a very powerful tool.
It's a very powerful tool. That's what I was going to say. Listen, you guys, this is not nearly enough time to give you the opportunity to turn over all the stones of what this could truly mean for you and your business, and the communication between you and your customers, which we all know is paramount. So this is to start the dialogue. Do yourself a favor and get over and just peek inside the world of Chatavise and Ron Martinez, and you just might be surprised what you find. Listen, Ron, thank you so much. And thank you for coming in today and for putting up with my cancellation Monday. Say hello to Martha for me, Martha Razzo. I look forward to seeing you back here in Chicago. And as always, it's been a pleasure, a real joy. So thank you so very much. Of course. And for you guys, thank you. I couldn't do this without you, and nor would I want to. Listen, I'll see you, God willing, tomorrow morning over there on the front porch, where together we'll have another illuminated conversation. And as I tell you every day as we get out of here, I love you. And there ain't a damn thing you can do about it. I'll see you. Get out and be your best self today. Bye, everybody. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Sign, shamelessly displaying my state of mind.